Hi, everyone. This is Hal Hawkins with the Retro World Series. This is kind of an impromptu uh, podcast, but episode 12 nonetheless. Um, what you just saw was our new trailer for our fall league that we're going to be doing online, since it looks like still looks like things are going to be shut down for a while, and so we're going to keep trying to provide you online tournaments instead, give you something to do in your free time, give you an opportunity to keep playing, or even start playing if this is your first time or you want to get back into it. It's kind of like riding a bike again. I'm sure if you were good at it as a kid, you can come back and be good at it again as an adult. I know I certainly have had that opportunity. What's going to be new? We're still doing our summer league, and we've got a few tournaments left. A few tournaments left. We've got coming up next weekend. We've got NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. We are making some changes. We've listened to you, and we've finally gotten some software to work properly. And so for certain games, we're going to be switching to Fightcade 2. If you're not familiar with it, it is a really, really good emulator, and it allows you to play a lot of different games. And the fighting game community, this is the emulator they use. So if you're worried about lag, this is probably your best option to play people online. And you can do a whole lot of games, even in the ones we're not offering. If you want to play, it can do anything from SNES to Mega Drive, or Sega Genesis for that matter, Game Gear, a lot of arcade games, Neo Geo games, and so doesn't do NES games yet. So we're going to stick with RetroArch for that. But so for like NBA Jam, we're going to be doing that on RetroArch. NFL Blitz and Mario Kart 64, Pokemon Puzzle League, and Smash 64 will stay with the N64 emulators because those work really well. Street Fighter 2 will be on Fightcade 2 as well. So still got some time. Sign up for those. They're going to be a lot of fun. And I may step in and play in the NBA Jam and NFL Blitz ones just because those are some of my favorite games. Maybe Mario Kart 64. We'll see. But we've got 3 weeks left of summer for our tournaments. 3 weeks left of our summer league, and then we'll be switching over to our fall lineup, and we're making some minor changes. Again, we're switching to a lot of games for Fightcade 2. It's going to be if I know there's some people out there that feel like they're not, tech savvy, and that's totally understandable. I can sit down with you and screen share everything and show you how to set it up, but switching to Fightcade 2 is not only better for gameplay, but it is going to be a lot easier for you to it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to play on. What is our lineup? It's going to look somewhat the same. As you can see, Crash Team Racing, Dr. Mario, Duke Nukem 3D, King of Fighters 98, Mario Kart 64. We're adding Mario Tennis. We still have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which will also be on Fightcade. NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, Pokemon Puzzle League, Pokemon Stadium 2. We are adding Puyo Puyo, also known in this part of the world as Dr. Robotnik's Bean Machine. But again, we call it Puyo Puyo because I think most people recognize it as that game. We're adding RBI Baseball as well, and we're bringing back Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. We also are keeping Super Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. We're adding Original Tecmo Bowl. We're also switching from Tengen Tetris to Classic Tetris, the NES release, and we're going to add a little different look to it. This is called the Tetris Zero hack, and what it does is the original game wasn't released with a two-player mode, unlike the Tengen version. And this hack, but it was actually part of it was kind of the programming for two-player mode was still in that game. It just wasn't really implemented, and it wasn't available. And so there's a guy out there that made this hack that actually allows for two-player mode, and it's really cool. It's exactly what you expect. It is your basic classic Tetris NES version, and there it is. I'm gonna show you up here. show you here to you on the screen real quick. So as you'll see, pretty much the same thing. Gameplay is exactly the same, except it's going to be a two-player version. So this is just a demo set up by the. I believe this is a demo set up by the maker of the emulator. And there you go. So what you can see is that people can now play, almost like the Classic Tetris World Championships with, obviously not with the custom programming they've got, but you can play side by side now. So we're going to have a Classic Tetris tournament, and it's going to be fairly simple since you're really not directly affecting each other's actions. There's no garbage in this game that you can throw at your opponent and change things up. We're going to make it more of a race. So it's going to be 2 out of 3 games, and a game will be who can reach 500,000 points fastest, or whoever survives the longest, really. So if you get a game, if your opponent gets a game over, you win. But otherwise, you can. It'll be whoever win. The winner will be the first to 500,000 points, and you'll play 2 out of 3 of those games. So you'll want to get first to 500,000 2 times. So yeah, it's a little different. I get it, but for those who are I know there's a lot of hardcore Tetris players out there that are used to the gameplay of the original NES version, and so I feel that this is a good way. This is the exact same gameplay. It won't change things up, but it adds a little nuance to the competition where you are actually playing against somebody. It's a race. It's the fastest to 500,000. You may not affect their own actions with garbage or anything like that, but again, you'll have the opportunity to see who's faster, really. And so I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I think if you're a hardcore Tetris player, you should definitely play it. We're also going to have Windjammers again, and that is available on Fightcade 2. And so that is our lineup. So I'm going to go over a little bit about the general overview. We're changing the format. So for the summer, we set up a bunch of single day tournaments, and I know and I've talked to a lot of people, and I know that things have been a little crazy lately, and not everyone is available at the same time on the same day. And so, maybe doing it on Saturdays, wasn't, I know a lot of people are trying to work extra hours. Some people have family, or there's a variety of reasons. So what we're going to do is turn this into an actual league where, I was a college athlete and played I played a lot of tennis too, and so we would have leagues where we would be in certain groups based on skill level, and we would be assigned matches each week, and we would just pick a time with the players we were assigned to play, and we would play them, and it would last over a certain period of months. And so this league will be 11 weeks long for the fall, the season. Each league will have groups between 5 and 8, and if there's a single group, it'll just be between 5 and 8. If we have 10 players that sign up, we'll have 2 groups of 5, and we'll try to divide it up by skill. So top tier will be the higher skill players, and lower tier will be the second group will be lower tier players. And what will be nice about this is that if there's a lot of people I know out there that used to play a lot when they were younger, and they just haven't gotten to, and so this will allow you, if you feel like you're not good enough to play in the top tier yet, or you're just kind of more into it recreationally, or just want to see how good you can do, you have the opportunity. We could put you in a lower skill group, and that allows you to play against people more on your level. And the great thing about it is next season in the spring, if you prove yourself, if you get better, you get promoted. So the top 2 in a group will move up to the top tier. If you feel you're really good and can compete with the best, we'll put you in the top tier. And if you are good, you'll stay in the top tier. If not, if you're in the bottom 2 for the top tier group, the next season you get bumped down to the bottom tier. So it's kind of like I guess you would call it like Premier League, where there's the promotions and the relegations, and in soccer, that is. And so we want to give people the opportunity to get better or at least not feel intimidated by the amount of skill, but we also want the people who are really good not to feel like they're wasting their time or playing garbage matches, and so they get to play people more comparable to their level, and it eventually just balances each other out. And at the end of the season, we will have championships where the top 2 in each group will play each other for the champion to be the champion of that group. The other thing is how flexible this is going to be. So you will only play 1 or 2 matches a week. You'll play everyone in your group 3 times apiece. It's a round robin, but it'll be spread out over 11 weeks. So, we will schedule the groups, and we will tell you, and we'll have the bracket public. We'll tell you who you're supposed to play in, like week 1, for example. And it'll be your job to schedule or to reach out to your opponents and figure out a time that works for both of you to play online. And so this gives you a lot more flexibility to be able to play each other. You get a full week to try and figure out a date, and you play each other that week, and then you report the scores to us, and we'll record or take the recordings and we'll stream them, and we'll enter the scores in the bracket, and then you move on to the second week, and so on and so on. And then it'll eventually roll over. So like the first 2 or 3 weeks, you'll play everybody once, and then the next 3 weeks after that it'll roll over again. You'll play everybody again, and so on. And so this you'll play up to, you'll get to play a lot of matches. So if it's a group of 8, you'll be playing 21 matches over 11 weeks, and it'll give you the opportunity to spread things out. If you don't do so well in the first week or 2, gives you a chance to practice a little bit more before you face the people you lost to again, and hopefully get better and make it more competitive in the next attempt. And again, if you have any questions about this, I've tried to spell this out as simply as possible, making it actual league where you can get as many matches as possible, and you're not stuck to a static schedule. You can be as flexible as possible. If we had a guy that was playing in one of our tournaments from Australia, and it was super late for him, and so this at least will allow him to, if he wants to come play again, will allow even people on different time zones to play each other, because they can set it up to whatever works for them. So this is just a brief overview of what emulators we'll be using. We're trying to get away from RetroArch, because I know some people were having some issues on the especially with the SNES. It seemed to do better with the NES. The SNES wasn't quite as successful with NetPlay, but with 5K2, way more flexibility, way easier to use, a lot better connections. You don't have to worry about hosting it, and so yeah, if you have any questions about setting these up, we've got instructions, but I can also help you out personally and show you how to do it. But again, this is the list. And this is the schedule. So registration will close on September 29th. We will post the schedules on October 2nd, 2 days before. That gives you a chance to look at the schedule and figure out the best time and day for you to schedule with your opponents for that upcoming week. And it starts October 4th, obviously. So you'll have, for example, in the first week, you will have from October 4th until midnight or Saturday, 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, the October 10th. So you have a full week to schedule with your opponent or opponents and get things scheduled and get a game in. And a game is anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. So and that's one or two games. So you're spending, you can do one night on Tuesday night and play 15, 20 minutes against one guy, and then you wait till Friday night, play another guy, your other opponent there, and it's only taking you, 40 minutes. That's it. And so it's really, really, flexible for you and flexible for your opponent. And so this will last until December 19th, and we'll give a week, a full week for the championship, so people can get scheduled. and then we'll start over in the spring again. And these will end before. These will be a part of the 2020-21 season. So the points will count for Player of the Year. That will finish up in Vegas in April for Level Up Expo. And it's I think that this is going to be a lot easier, a lot more fun. And go to RetroWorldSeries.com to sign up. I know I haven't. This is a pretty short podcast, but it won't take you too long to listen to it and figure things out. If you have any questions, email me, call me. Some of you have my number. Message me on Facebook or on Discord or Twitter. I'm always there and available to answer. And I hope that you'll sign up. It's $15, so you're paying just over $1 a match to anywhere to 75 cents a match or so, maybe even less, 60 cents a match. So it's really, really cheap. It's for the amount of matches you're getting, and also it gives you the opportunity to practice, get better, and then in the second season, see if you really want to move up and play in higher tier players. So that is the fall schedule. I'll show you the lineup one more time in case you're wondering. And I am more than happy to add more, to host more games. If you can guarantee that we get 5 people to sign up, we'll add another division, another group for a game. I know there's a lot of requests out there for a lot of different games, and sometimes I may miss out on one, or there's one I don't recall, or didn't realize was that competitive. So if there's some out there that can get at least 5 to make a group, contact me and we'll get something set up and get it scheduled. So don't forget, this registration deadline is September 29th, and it starts October 4th. So yeah, that is it. I am going to call it an early night. I hope y'all are staying safe out there and y'all are still able to play online. The great thing about things like Fightcade and RetroArch is you can play on Windows or Linux or Mac, and so you don't have to worry about having the right system, because it works for all of them. So yeah, feel free, contact me if you have any questions. That concludes episode 12, and hope you have a good night. See you soon.